Hey, you guys want to see my giant size man thing? Yeah. What's up, guys? Drew Manchu back at it again with another face-to-face video. This is the second video in a row where I've hit that weekly schedule, and I guess the last one doesn't count since it was the first one and not weekly, so I guess this is my first time back on schedule with a weekly video. I'm going to sit down, go through my pull list, and let you guys know what I thought about all the books that I picked up. So let's go ahead and jump right into my DC haul. I picked up Superman number 29, which marks a break for the creative team of Tomasi and Gleason, and we get Menke on art here, and this is also a return to some action for Superman. Spent some time with his family on vacation, and it was kind of boring in my opinion. A really solid Superman story, and we get some really cool moments in here as he is possessed by Parallax. You see that right there on the cover. Can't be a spoiler if they put it on the cover. Batman number 29 returns to the War of Jokes and Riddles. I've kind of been on the fence with this book lately. The War of Jokes and Riddles has been subpar in my opinion, but I really dug this issue. Bruce Wayne has a sit down between the Riddler and the Joker, and the Joker's absolute gold in this. I love Tom King's Joker. I think the issue with the War of Jokes and Riddles so far is we're not getting enough Tom King Joker. Really great stuff in this book, and I really enjoyed it. Again, light on action, heavy on character, but good stuff. Issue number 27 of Justice League is Bryan Hitch at his best. I'm not really sure what's going on with this future he's got planned out for the children of the Justice League, and he might be a little bit too ambitious for this to become a part of continuity. But that being said, there's some really good character moments in here, and we're seeing some really cool stuff laid out at the end of this book, which will move this story forward, and I enjoyed it. Can't really say that much about Hitch's Justice League, but I am enjoying this arc. Nightwing number 27 is called Spiral, and it focuses a lot on the characters that were built up and some of the loose ends that were not tied up at the end of the run of Grayson. Tom King's Grayson was really fun to read. Really enjoyed that, with Dick Grayson being a secret agent. This focuses on him and the Huntress, and Tiger as well, who now apparently seems to want Dick dead. So we'll figure out what's going on with this book moving forward. Really nice twist ending to it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Not to mention the art in here is really interesting. Not my favorite style per se, but I really did enjoy the way that it looked. It's different than the DC house style that we're getting back to in a lot of titles. But I really enjoyed this book and would suggest you guys pick up Nightwing. Good stuff. Trinity number 12 is the part 1 of the Dark Destiny story arc. This shows the evil Trinity trying to get the Dark Trinity to kill the Trinity, and the Trinity gets the mystical Trinity to help the Trinity defeat the Dark Trinity, who's working for the evil Trinity. Didn't get Peter J. Tomasi on Superman this week, but he is on Super Sons, and this is absolutely fantastic. This is the second part of the team up between the Super Sons and the Teen Titans. Really enjoyed this. John is being written on point. Damian is elderly at the beginning of this story. There's some really good gags in here that really get a laugh from me, and really great action as well. Love these characters. Love the way Tomasi writes them, and this is going to be great moving forward. If we get John on the Teen Titans, at least in a part-time capacity, I'm excited about that. Also, you guys know I love those Dustin Nguyen Super Sons variants. This one's absolutely great. Robin sitting on his cape as Superboy flies him around. There's a duck. What's not to love? And the main event for DC this week is Metal. I'm not sure if you guys have been living under a rock, but Metal is in the air. I really enjoyed this as well. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo together again. The art in this book is on point. Absolutely love Capullo's line work. The story is kind of coming together at this point. Batman is gathering what he can about Nth Metal and is exploring the dark multiverse, which will probably lead to some fucked up shit. I also picked up the Andy Kubert variant. That's really cool. Batman does ride a dinosaur in this, but not a T-Rex. But, you know, it's still pretty solid. I know Romita gets a lot of hate, but I did pick up the JR variant cover. I dig JR Superman. I know a lot of people don't, but this was pretty cool. You know, my ass had to pick up that Midnight variant. Super sweet. And this Jim Lee Wonder Woman variant is also absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and hunt down the other variants. I've seen some hefty price tags on those, and you know, I really enjoyed the books I got, so I'm just going to go ahead and end it there. Also, at the Midnight release, there was a lithograph of that Midnight cover. I snagged 2 of them. Trinity, one of these is coming out to you, buddy. Picked up a fair amount of Marvel books this week and really wasn't disappointed with anything. A lot of great stuff. I got number 8 of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Jerry Duggan's doing a great job writing this team. Really quippy dialogue, really nice action, and the art really came together well. Really enjoying what was going on in the Guardians. We also get another little tidbit of the Groot storyline, and I'm really enjoying that. I can't wait for the payoff. In the Mighty Thor number 22, Jason Aaron's epic continues as the War Thor and the Mighty Thor team up to fight the fire demons of Muspelheim. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it, but I'm saying it that way anyway. There seems to be a disconnect in how to deal with these fire demons, and the next issue promises a showdown between the Mighty Thor and the War Thor. This book is absolutely beautiful and full of Thor greatness. If you're a fan of Thor, if you're a fan of any of the Asgardian stuff, this is definitely a book you need to be picking up. The fact that Thor is a woman should not deter you. The fact that the War Thor is not Odinson should not deter you. There's awesome stuff in this book every single month. Absolutely love the Mighty Thor. Totally Awesome Hulk number 22 rounds out the Weapons of Mutant Destruction story arc. And this book is shit. I know I said not a whole lot of negatives. This is the one. This book is super ugly. The panels do not tell a succinct story. The words do not support what's on the page. And it's just not great. You think you see the Hulk with some Wolverine claws. It's going to be a cool deal. And, you know, it just wasn't. Fell flat for me. The whole deal was just, not a fan. Probably dropping Totally Awesome Hulk. So, we'll see what happens rolling into Legacy. I also picked up Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 10. Now, this series has been being written by Jerry Conway with art by Ryan Stegman, which is a great team that I've really enjoyed. This issue here sees Ryan Stegman take over the writing duties, and we see Stockman on pencils. It's kind of a step back for the art for me, but it is very well drawn, and I do enjoy Stegman's story of a young son of the Green Goblin coming to grips with his situation and why he hates Spider-Man. Really cool. I'm excited to see the Goblin come back, and I really enjoy this continuity that they're working in here, a little outside of the Marvel continuity. This is an alternate future where Spider-Man and Mary Jane stayed together, and their daughter is a Spiderling fighting crime with them, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and I think you guys should pick it up. Apparently, from what I hear, the sales are really low, and I don't understand why. If you guys are reading a Spider-Man book, this should be the one. If you're not reading Invincible Iron Man, then it's your loss. Number 10 came out this week, and it's a fantastic story of how Riri Williams took over Latveria from Lucia von Bardas and made it a better place. You can see on the cover here, there's some foreshadowing of AI Tony going bad, and we get a little bit of that at the end of the book too, but don't let that inform your decision on what happens inside this book. Really great conversational writing by Brian Michael Bendis, kind of where he shines, and I'm really enjoying Invincible Iron Man. Dan Slott and Mike Allred Silver Surfer is not for everybody. You either love it or you hate it, but if you love it, this issue is gonna be a tearjerker for you. This goes far into the future and sees the lives of Norrin Radd and Dawn Greenwood play out to their conclusion. And the end of this kind of gives you some hope for the future, but I'm excited to see where Silver Surfer ends in the next issue and where Marvel goes forward with the Silver Surfer character in the future. A couple of books from Al Ewing this week. He wrote Royals number 6. I know I was on the fence about this book. I said I'd give it one story arc and see where it goes. And I'll tell you what, The first story arc's over, and I'm down for more. Really enjoying this. I like the fact that they've gone into space. They're exploring more of the Inhuman legacy throughout the cosmos, and the art's on point. Al Ewing is doing a great job writing this story. I'm enjoying Royals. Might not be for everybody, but if you're a fan of the Inhumans, pick this up. Ewing also wrote Ultimate Squared number 100. Now, this is the 100th issue of Ultimates, and I don't know how that math works out, but it's also the final issue of the Ultimate Squared arc for Al Ewing. If you are a fan of the Marvel cosmology, he takes it apart and puts it back together through this series, and where it ends here is kind of cool. I like what they do with Galactus, but definitely a heavy read. I had to flip through this thing 2-3 times to really get what was going on with it, and I had to go back actually and read the last issue as well to kind of get me up to date on what was going on. Kind of confusing stuff, so I would suggest you check it out if the cosmology of the Marvel Universe means anything to you, but if not, you know, it's heavy and it's kind of hard to get through, so, you know, if you're interested in what it covers, this is for you. If not, then I'd pass. Ewing also writes U.S. Avengers, and this is our first dip into the Secret Empire tie-ins. This rounds out the U.S. Avengers adventures in France, which is occupied by Hydra. They are successful in their battle, and I really enjoy this team, so I enjoyed this book. The art is solid, if not great, and I think it's worth a read. If you're picking up the Secret Empire, this doesn't really tie in all that much. If you're not picking up the Secret Empire, which is kind of a good thing. So, I don't know, it was fun. It was fun. I had fun with it, and I'm going to keep reading this title. I also grabbed Secret Empire number 5, Brave New World. This right here is an anthology series, and there's been some weird little tidbits of stories throughout this, and I've not been a huge fan, but I have been reading the Invaders story arc, which fleshes out the situation in Atlantis a little bit more for the Secret Empire main story. So if that's something that interests you, you might want to pick these up. This is our final Secret Empire tie-in for the week, and our first X-Men title. You see Polaris there on the cover of X-Men Blue number 9. It seems that Magneto has tasked his daughter with looking after the young X-Men. Emma Frost has abducted them in New Tian, and there is a situation where she is trying to turn Cyclops. It's kind of perverted and weird when you really think about it, but this was a good title. The art is on point, and Cullen Bunn is doing a great job writing the X-Men. Generation X number 5 was a really fine X-Men book in my opinion. We focus on the mutation of Eye-Boy and his inability to control his powers as of late, but he does go on a really nice adventure, find some redemption, and starts to accept himself for what he is, which is really what X-Men's all about. The art in this book was a little bit off. There's some really great panels and some that are just, you know, just plain ugly, but I've had some issues with the artists on Generation X so far, but the stories have been good enough to hold on to my attention. And my definite X-Men pick of the week was Astonishing X-Men number 2, which shows the X-Men being manipulated in a game between the Shadow King and Professor X. How is this happening? On the astral plane, of course. It's the Shadow King and a dead man, and they're having a battle for the fate of the X-Men. Some really good stuff in here, some great character moments with Gambit and Phantom X, and I love the fact that they're both on this team. I really dig that about this book. As an X-Men fan, this hits all the buttons, so I say pick it up. Astonishing X-Men number 2. And the final book for Marvel this week is Generations The Best, which is all new Wolverine and Wolverine teaming up to fight the Hand Ninjas, undead ninjas, bunch of claws, slicing and dicing, and some really nice emotional character moments in here as well. It seems to me that Generations is not an event into itself. It is a stopgap between the events of Secret Empire and what's going to be happening in Legacy. And what Marvel wants us to know is where these characters stand as they go into Legacy. What part of their legacy are they taking with them into the story? I thought that the Hulk issue that came out 2 weeks ago was, you know, good as far as action's concerned, and a fun book to read, but really didn't hit anything new. So it's kind of a catch-up deal. I really didn't enjoy Jean Grey at all. I thought that it was very wasteful. Even though the story was okay, the art was okay, it was just nothing happened at all, and I didn't learn anything from it. I feel very differently about this Wolverine issue. Laura gets some closure with Logan. She also has a moment to address his issues with intimacy, with his interpersonal relationships, and it's really cool. If this doesn't draw at least the tiniest glimmer of a tear from your eye, you're not a Wolverine fan. This is good stuff, and I really, really enjoyed this issue of Generations. My Marvel pick of the week this week was Generations Wolverine. You just heard all about why. My DC pick of the week is Super Sons number 7. Tomasi has a great grasp on these characters, and Jimenez's work is absolutely gorgeous. This book is a must-read. And my cover of the week is the Andy Kubert Dark Knight's Metal number 1. Cover there, Batman riding a T-Rex. I mean, come on. How do you not love that? I picked up 0 back issues this week, so nothing to share there, guys, but I did get the entire Netflix wave of Marvel Legends action figures, which did allow me to build my Man-Thing Build-A-Figure, and this thing is absolutely awesome. It's got some rubberized vinyl textures added over top of the mold, which is really cool. Really nice sculpt on the whole deal. That's a neat figure. I'm really happy to have him as part of my collection. I also snagged this Mighty Thor as well. I've been waiting for this Jane Foster figure for quite some time. She does lack a little bit of articulation, but I do dig this. Very, very happy to have this in my collection. That's going to be it for this face-to-face video this week, guys. Remember to collect what you love, share what you find. I'm Drew Manchu, and I'll see you guys next time.